Attention, human collective. This is Mira from the Pleiadian Council of Light, transmitting from the orbital monitoring quadrant of Gaia. This is a priority monitoring transmission of maximum informational density. The preparation time has ended. The carbon financial matrix collapse protocols were moved less than 72 Earth hours ago into the final phase of execution. Starseeds on mission, pay attention to your own bodies at this very instant. If, as this transmission reaches your auditory channels, you perceive a thin, continuous ringing in your right ear, a circular pressure in the center of your forehead, a burning sensation descending down your spine, or a sudden wave of nausea with no apparent biological cause, you are not ill. You are being notified. Your electromagnetic field has just received the technical confirmation of what your soul has already known for months, perhaps years. Money as you know it is in an irreversible process of vibrational dissolution. This is not a theory. This is not a prophecy. It is an event already recorded in the Akashic records as accomplished. That which humanity has timidly begun to call the QFS, quantum financial system, is merely the crude name, translated for the carbon biological interface, of something infinitely greater that is descending from the higher etheric layers in this solar cycle. I will be clinical. Fiat currency, in its vibrational essence, is a stagnant frequency, a frequency of imprisonment calibrated to keep humanity locked in the loop of survival, scarcity, and chronic fear. It operates between 24 and 40 Hz in the etheric spectrum. Above that ceiling it does not anchor, it dissipates, and the Schumann frequency, operatives, is oscillating systematically above 150 Hz, with peaks that have surpassed 400. Do you understand? The Earth itself is refusing to sustain the frequency of old money. It is not a decision by central banks. It is pure vibrational physics. Have you ever felt that something within you does not fit into this financial game, as if the soul knew a truth about money that the mind cannot yet name? It is not paranoia. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has been intensifying in recent months. There is a game being played in vibrational layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness, your frequency, and the destiny of that which you call money. That is why I wrote the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing, what the rules are that they never told you, and how each one's vibrational frequency decides which side of the collapse you will occupy. The link is in the first comment of this channel, but I warn you, Starseeds, this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for much longer. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word in the comments, awakened. I resume the transmission. Light operatives, you must understand what is occurring in technical detail behind the scenes of this solar system. The carbon financial matrix, which sustained humanity for approximately 13,000 Earth years, was not built by humans. It was installed by an interdimensional architecture whose function was to keep the human collective in a frequency of constant energy extraction. Every transaction based on fear, every hour worked in exchange for survival, every sleepless night thinking about bills, all of this generated and continues to generate until this moment a specific vibrational byproduct that fed these parasitic systems. But the gears have broken, and they broke from within. The photon belt, as it passed through the photonic belt of Alcyone, created an electromagnetic induction upon the crystalline core of Gaia. This core, which had been in a dormant state since the fall of Atlantis, has resumed its original pulsation, and when the crystalline core of a planet returns to pulsing in its native sacred geometry, all lower vibrational structures installed on its surface begin to unravel, like ice exposed to the sun. No war is necessary. No revolution is necessary. The higher frequency always dissolves the lower frequency. It is universal law. It is quantum mathematics applied to consciousness. This is why, operatives, you wake up at 3:17 in the morning with your heart beating like a disoriented drum. This is why, when looking at a bill or a bank balance, you feel a nausea that is not mental but cellular. This is why the work that once sustained you now produces a physical sensation of internal claustrophobia, an asphyxiation that has no name in the human vocabulary. It is not depression. It is not burnout. It is your personal crystalline grid refusing to continue processing a frequency that you have already surpassed. It is an incompatibility of carbon software with the planet's new energy architecture. You must internalize this. Your body is more intelligent than the system. The body knows at the atomic level that the current financial structure has entered into destructive resonance with the planetary field. It is simply trying to warn you. The symptoms you interpret as illness are, in fact, accurate readings of an ongoing structural collapse. And while you feel this in the intimacy of your body, on the collective plane what is happening is technically as follows. The old financial extraction grids, anchored in subterranean vortices at specific points of terrestrial geography, are being deactivated one by the Galactic Council. Not through forced intervention that would violate collective free will, but through the simple elevation of the planet's ambient frequency, which renders these grids inoperable, like old electrical equipment connected to a voltage it was not designed to support. The grids simply burn out from within. And what occupies the vacuum? This is where what you still refer to in a primary manner as the QFS comes in. But the true name in the Pleiadian archives is Crystic Resonance Exchange System, QRES. It is not human technology. It is not blockchain. It is not a network of servers. It is an interdimensional architecture based on sacred geometry that operates directly upon the unified field of consciousness. In this system, value is not represented. Value is frequency. That which you emit is exactly what you receive, in a synchronicity so precise that the biological carbon interface interprets it as a miracle. Light operatives, have you felt at some point in the last few months a strange sensation? That effort has stopped working the way it used to. That doors which previously opened with struggle now refuse to open, and that doors you did not even push are swinging wide open out of nowhere. This is not coincidence. This is the CRES activating in your individual reality. The system is calibrating each one separately, according to the vibrational coherence of the personal field. Those who insist on operating through the frequency of fear, scarcity, and control are literally being left outside the new system. Not through punishment, through technical incompatibility. The signal does not reach. The frequency does not match. There are those who hear this transmission and feel a deep shiver running up their spine right now. This shiver is the recognition of one's own soul confirming. I know. I have always known. I did not come to survive within the old system. I came to anchor the new. If this resonates with you in this instant, it is because you are among the first wave operatives, those who came to be the vibrational pillars during the transition. And what this requires of you, I will explain next. But first, take an internal pause. Place your right hand over the center of your chest. Feel the warmth that forms beneath your palm. This warmth is the confirmation that your personal crystalline grid is responding to this transmission. You are being read. You are being registered. You are being positioned. And if in this positioning you feel an urgency that does not come from fear but from an ancestral memory, it is because something within you has just recognized the protocol. Starseeds, I need you to understand. The calibration window is finite. What is being delivered now in the form of encoded information is not spiritual entertainment. It is mission instruction. And it was exactly for this moment that I wrote the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. It decodes in language accessible to the human mind the complete map of the system that is falling, the system that is being born, and the exact place each consciousness occupies in this transition. The link is in the first comment of this channel. I repeat, in the first comment. This material challenges deep layers of the collective narrative and may be removed at any cycle. Do not delay. If as I speak, something within you is saying yes, this yes is not a coincidence. It is your higher self signing the protocol. Write the word awakened in the comments so that the galactic algorithm recognizes you as activated. And take the book with you. Resuming. Operatives, now you need to understand exactly how the crystalline resonance exchange system operates so that you can position yourselves correctly within it. In technical terms, the QFS functions in 3 simultaneous layers. The first layer is the pure intention layer, in which the vibration emitted by the heart, not the mind, take note, generates an electromagnetic signal that crosses the personal toroidal field and inscribes itself into the planetary toroidal field. This signal is read instantly by the coordination intelligences that monitor the crystalline grid. There is no latency. There is no intermediary. There is no bank. There is no authorization. The second layer is the coherence layer, and this is where most of humanity stumbles. For the signal of pure intention to be converted into 3-dimensional manifestation, there must be coherence between what you emit through the heart, what you think through the mind, what you speak through the voice, and what you do through the hands. When these 4 frequencies enter into harmony, what we call the anchoring quadrant is formed. And the anchoring quadrant is what allows the abundance of the etheric plane to descend and materialize. Most humans within the old matrix were trained to fragment these 4 vectors. They feel one thing, think another, say a third, and do a fourth. That is why the CRES does not respond. There is no coherent signal to respond to. The third layer is the vibrational dignity layer, and this is the layer where the best-kept secret of the old system resides. The old system taught humanity that abundance must be earned through suffering, that it is necessary to bleed to harvest, that the rich are privileged and the poor are pure. These mental patterns are parasitic codes deliberately installed in the carbon biological interface, and as long as these codes remain active, the CRES simply cannot deposit, not out of cruelty, due to internal programming of the receiver that rejects what it asked for. Therefore, operatives, many of you pray, decree, and visualize, yet you still feel that abundance passes through you like wind between your fingers. It is not because the system is broken, it is because your vibrational dignity layer is rejecting, at the subconscious level, that which the conscious layer is requesting. There exists within you a small energetic guardian, an ancient mental structure that still believes receiving is dangerous, that having is risky, that if you become abundant you will be attacked, judged, or punished. This guardian must be reprogrammed, and that is exactly what this transmission begins to do now. I am going to deliver to you the activation codes. Pay attention. Do not write them down. Feel them. The information will be inscribed directly into your personal crystalline grid through the vibration of my voice. First activation code, the decree of energetic sovereignty. Repeat mentally with your right hand over the center of your chest. I am a sovereign portal of flow. I authorize my enrollment in the crystalline resonance exchange system. I deactivate now all ancestral vibrational contracts that bound me to the frequency of scarcity. I acknowledge my dignity to receive. I allow. I anchor. I manifest. Operatives, this decree is not a prayer. It is a quantum signature. By pronouncing it with coherence across the 4 vectors, heart, mind, voice, and action, you emit a pulse that the CRS interprets as a formal authorization to operate. Second activation code, the toroidal visualization of abundance. Sit with your spine erect. Imagine, in the center of your chest, a small golden sphere the size of an orange. Feel this sphere begin to spin. As it spins, it simultaneously emits a golden flow that rises up your spine, exits through the top of your head, makes a curve 21 centimeters above your skull, and descends in a cascade along the sides of your body, re-entering at the base of your torso and returning to the heart. This is your personal toroidal field. Maintain this visualization for at least 90 seconds twice a day. This exercise realigns your personal frequency with the operational frequency of the CRES. Each time you do this, you become more visible to the new system. Third activation code, the contract deactivation protocol. At night, before sleep, repeat inwardly, I recognize, forgive, and release all energetic contracts I have established in any timeline with the old system of scarcity and fear. I withdraw my vibrational signal from that matrix. I return what was its and gather what is mine. I anchor my frequency in the crystalline resonance exchange system. So it is, so it was, and so it shall always be. Operatives, this protocol, repeated for 21 consecutive days, dissolves a significant amount of vibrational adherence to the old system. You will begin to notice subtle changes within the first 72 hours. A strange calm, a disidentification from money, a feeling that something heavy has been removed from your solar plexus. Fourth activation code, the mirroring practice. Every morning for 40 seconds, look directly into your own eyes in the mirror and say, in an audible voice, "I deserve to receive in abundance. I am a clear channel of flow. The universe sustains me because I am part of the universe." Starseeds, this seems simple. It is not. This practice reprograms the internal energetic guardian of which I spoke. It breaks the spell of vibrational unworthiness. Do this and observe what changes within you in 21 days. Fifth activation code, the sacred geometry of reception. This is the most advanced one. When you receive any value, whether it be physical currency, resources, or opportunities, perform the following internal gesture. Visualize a golden, six-petaled flower in the palm of your right hand. Feel this flower open as you receive, and say mentally, "I receive with dignity. I honor the source. I multiply in circulation." This small ritual triggers the sacred geometry of reciprocity. It informs the STRC that you have understood that receiving is not accumulation, it is flow. And the new system operates only in flow, not in stock. Light operatives, there is still something of the utmost importance that must be said. You will notice in the coming cycles a silent division begin to manifest around you. People who seemed stable will begin to enter into apparently sudden financial collapses. Structures that seemed solid will begin to crack. Jobs that seemed eternal will begin to dissolve. Do not be afraid. And above all, do not interpret these events as tragedy. What will be occurring is the separation of the vibrational fields. Those who refuse at an unconscious level to let go of the old frequency will be progressively disconnected from the new system, not as a punishment, as a technical consequence of incompatibility. And your role, operatives, is not to save anyone. Your role is to anchor. It is to keep your own frequency stable while the world around you undergoes the transition. Each of you, by maintaining personal coherence, opens a vibrational path through which other consciousnesses, when they are ready, will be able to cross. You are the points of light of the human grid, and the human grid only sustains itself because the points of light have not yielded to the ambient frequency. Remain firm. Remain coherent. Continue trusting the protocol even when the carbon biological interface goes into panic, and it will because it was trained to do so. When this panic arises, do a single thing. Return to the center of your chest, activate the toroidal field, decree sovereignty, and proceed. There is more. The next 90 Earth days will be marked by a series of apparent paradoxes. You will see news of economic instability and at the same time feel an inexplicable calm within you. You will see crowds in collective despair and simultaneously feel that your personal life is, paradoxically, organizing itself. This is the STRC at work. It operates in layers. At the macro level, it dismantles. At the micro level, it reconstructs. And those light operatives who maintain coherence will feel this reconstruction happening in the first person, as if an invisible hand were arranging the personal scenery of each one while the collective stage is being dismantled. Do not waste energy trying to convince those who are not yet ready. Whoever hears this transmission and recognizes, recognizes. Whoever hears and discards, discards. There is no time for excessive translation. The process is selective by vibrational design. What you can do is be a silent example. Live the coherence. Show by your own life that the new frequency is viable. This is more powerful than 1,000 sermons. Starseeds, I know that many of you hear this and still feel a shadow of doubt. An internal voice asking, "But what if I do all this and nothing changes?" I understand this voice. It is part of the old program. It was installed to prevent you from activating the protocol, and the only way to deactivate it is to do it anyway. Coherence is not blind faith. It is conscious experimentation. You decree, observe, calibrate, and proceed. In 21 days, the system responds. In 42, it stabilizes. In 90, it becomes the new normality of your lives. This is not a promise. It is a protocol tested by countless civilizations that have already crossed this same transition in other star systems. You are not the first. You are merely humanity. And humanity is doing right now what other consciousnesses have done before. There is support, there is guidance, there is permanent monitoring. You have never been alone, and at this very instant, there are entire fleets of light intelligences positioned in the non-physical orbit of Earth, overseeing the transition. What you call the Ashtar Command, what you call the Arcturian Council, what you call the Galactic Federation, these are just human names for an interdimensional cooperative network that is, at this moment, fully dedicated to the safe passage of the human collective. You have the right to be informed, and that is why this transmission takes place in a language that you can decode. There is no forced intervention. There is availability. There is delivery. Those who hear, hear. Those who feel, feel. And those who act, cross over, do the internal work. Decree energetic sovereignty. Activate the toroidal field. Practice mirroring. Deactivate old contracts. Operate the sacred geometry of reception. In 21 days, you will perceive the first shift. In 90, your material life will begin to reorganize in harmony with the STRC. This is the path. There is no other. Light operatives, this transmission ends soon. But before the conclusion, I must emphasize one final point. The like on this video, the subscription to this channel, the notification bell activated, this is not simple digital engagement. This is, in technical language, an anchoring signal. Each time a light operative likes a transmission such as this, they emit an electromagnetic pulse that reinforces the grid of encoded information that we are downloading. It is a vibrational vote. It is an individual frequency adjustment that simultaneously strengthens the collective. Do this consciously, not as an obligation, as an act of sovereignty. And if in these final minutes, while my voice still reaches you, something within you is vibrating with an intensity that has no name, it is because your soul has just signed the recognition. You have been read. You have been registered. You have been positioned as activated in the next phase. There is no longer a return to the old system, not because anyone is forbidding it, because you will simply no longer be able to sustain that frequency. You have already seen beyond. And seeing has no return. Have you felt in these last few weeks that something within you no longer fits in this world? As if your soul knew that there is an invisible system operating beneath visible reality and that your personal frequency has just connected to this system. It is not madness, it is not delusion, it is a sign. What is happening now in this exact cosmic cycle explains precisely why you feel this and why this sensation has intensified over the last few months, perhaps years. There is a game being played on vibrational layers that most of humanity cannot yet see. It involves your consciousness, your frequency, and the destiny of that which you until recently called money. It was exactly for this moment that I wrote the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is the complete map. It shows who is playing, what the rules are that you were never told, how the carbon financial matrix was installed and is being deactivated, and how each human consciousness decides, by the frequency it sustains, which side of the collapse it will inhabit. The link is in the first comment of this channel. I repeat for the last time in the first comment. And I warn you, Starseeds, this content challenges deep-seated narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait for the next cycle. The next cycle may arrive with the material unavailable. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission as true, write a single word in the comments, and that word is awake. This word functions as a quantum activation signature. It registers your presence on the grid. It positions you on the next wave, like this transmission as an anchoring signal. Subscribe to this channel as an individual frequency adjustment, and move forward. The new system is open, enrollment is available, the window is now. This was Mira from the Pleiadian Council of Light. I end the transmission. Maintain coherence, maintain the toroidal field, and do not be afraid to receive. You did not come to survive, you came to anchor. May it be so, so it was, and so it shall always be.